some of these are fresh.
All right, so there's some eggs that we didn't actually... Our old broody mama decided she was gonna make her own little nest, didn't she? In the shredded paper. Crazy. Welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice, and we live in Northern California on 3.5 acres where we raise chickens and bees and can garden year round. And I want to show you how my fall garden starts are looking. They are doing so good. It's finally been cooler weather for me to take them out and let them start to get acclimated and start to, you call it hardening off, when you slowly bring the plant in and out. Let me show you them. Aren't they looking fabulous? I mean, look at this lettuce. I really need to start planting some of this out, but I don't have my garden beds ready. And I am going to show you my garden beds because today I am taking you on a September garden tour. It's basically an end of the summer kind of garden tour, yet we are just starting to transition a tiny bit to a fall or cooler weather garden. Pretty birds. Okay guys, I'm in the garden and I am not going to hide any of the mess or craziness because there is mess and there is craziness because this is a September garden tour. That's what September gardens are like unless you are crazy on top of it. And I feel like I'm a pretty good pruner, but I am not on top of it at all. Let me show you. We're gonna jet around this garden, let you see kind of what it looks like because I keep saying this, but it is going to change and be different so fast. Let me ask you a favor real quick. Would you click the like button? Would you subscribe? Would you share our video with someone who would enjoy it? That would be so helpful. And I love to share this stuff with you, but I honestly would love our videos to get to anybody who would be encouraged, inspired, who would enjoy them, because that's what we do. We're trying to help other people garden, help other people grow and raise food, and see that it really doesn't have to be so hard, and it can be something that you love and that you enjoy. Okay, let's get back to the tour. At the front of the gate, I have sunflowers. They do have some beautiful sunflowers. Oh, that's a praying mantis. Do you see that praying mantis on the sunflower? I didn't even know that until I'm filming, but there's also the dead sunflowers that hopefully will drop seeds to be volunteers along my path next year. This is my first bed. This is my sweet potato bed. It still has beautiful cosmos coming up. It has that culinary sage that we talked about, either leaving this one or the one in the other bed, but not both. So I'm probably gonna do some heavy pruning of the sage. We have beans coming up that I just had planted to trellis all over. We have bees in here. Not sure if you can see, but the bees are loving all of the blossoms on the sweet potatoes. I'm seeing if I can catch one for you. And we have lots of beans and we have cucumbers. In fact, this pickling cucumber looks just about ripe, just about ready. We have noodle beans in here, all sorts of fun stuff. It is wild and crazy and, you know, kind of just the way I like it, right? Over here, we have our heirloom tomatoes that look very sad. I mean, look at this. Very sad. Need a heavy pruning. However, some of them are still blooming and I think we could still get fruit from some of them. This is the other sage I am thinking of taking out. Beautiful alyssum. We love alyssum. A little bit of celery I still need to harvest, but we are going to grow celery through the winter. We do have some heirloom tomatoes like this one that are ripening. Well, they're not ripening, but growing. I'm saying I think we will get them ripe before the end of the season. Here's one, just a handful. I really wish there were more, but at least we have some. I think I'm going to heavily amend this bed because I feel like it just hasn't been as productive with the tomatoes as I had hoped. So I have some really high quality soil from a local landscaping place that I am going to amend all the beds, but especially this tomato bed needs some TLC. Into the bed, we have chard. We have this little tomato that was in the nursery pot. It was our experiment. It looks terrible, but there's at least a tomato on it. Over here, we have my paste tomatoes, and they are loving life. They are wild and crazy. There are a few that are ripening, but most of them are so camouflaged in here because they are still very green. I think you can see, you know, a couple down there, but they're mostly hiding under this jungle of a tomato bed. I love the varieties I pick. My roosters are going crazy, but I will definitely grow La Roma, Martino's Roma, and Roma again. Those three have done fabulous for me. I am not doing San Marzano anymore. Amish paste, both were major fails. I'm sure they're great for other people, but for our area, or even if it's just my garden, they don't love it. Strawberry beds, wild and crazy. I'm trying to transplant some of the runners, but I really truly need to pull a ton of these runners. But here and there and everywhere, we have ripe strawberries like this one. So delicious. They're hiding all over, but this bed, sorry, I'm eating a strawberry. It definitely needs to be pruned. It needs to be weeded out. Bugs got this one first, so it'll be for the chickens. Oh, where'd it go? But you can even see how there are so many runners all over, and I just can't keep up with all that. So who is the lucky one? Woo! Who gets it? Oh, the rooster got it. Sam, you are not sharing with your ladies. Now the bugs have kind of gone crazy in here. I have so many I can throw to the chickens. Not sure how many I can get for myself. That's one I can get for myself, but I don't really have time to spend a lot of time in here, so I keep avoiding it, thinking I will get to it later. Here's my cherry tomato bed. It is kind of crazy. It needs some major amending, but it is also my leek bed. And you can see so many leeks. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. They have multiplied. Leeks are so amazing because even when you harvest them, they come back like a perennial. I mean, I did not replant any of these, and I am going to have quite a forest of leeks this winter. Do I mind that? No, not particularly. I don't know if I would have put them in this bed specifically if I thought it was going to always be a leek bed, and I didn't realize how perennial leeks really will be. Like, they'll just keep coming back, keep coming back. So if you plant leeks, be sure to take into consideration that that might be the place that you have leeks. Like, even if you dig them up, they have little, like the size of a tomato, they have little like bulbs like you'd find on a garlic, and they fall off in there and you don't even know, and they come back, which is super cool if you have them where you want them. Pick myself a couple black cherries. These are some of our very favorite tomatoes, and we always love growing them. Black cherries and sun gold have done great here. Some of my other cherry tomatoes, not so much. I don't know if that's because of the bed. I don't know if that's because of the tomato, because look at all these beautiful unripe tomatoes. The sun gold has not had a problem at all. Over here, we have my Jamaican roselle hibiscus, and it doesn't have its blooms yet, but I have a feeling like it's going to very soon. To give you an idea, it is taller than I am. Just one plant. So I think that it is going to be packed with blossoms once they come. Took me forever to get marigold to germinate this year. I finally direct sowed a bunch, and I got this beautiful sparky French marigold to come up at the end of the season, which is kind of nice that it's like fall and it's fall colors, even though it's hiding under there, minding its own business. It makes me happy in the middle of the jungle. Now what I really need to do is I really need to pick tomatoes. I need to pick a ton of cherry tomatoes, but this is a tour. This is not picking time, so that will wait. Put this down. We can do it after our tour. This is the back side of the cherry tomato bed. I also have Brad's Atomic Grape in here. They are one of my favorite tomatoes. I love them. I only had one plant this year, but it has done pretty decent, especially right now. It's gonna give me another good picking, maybe a couple good pickings. Over here, we have my hot pepper bed, and we have Tabasco peppers just doing their thing. Look at that. They are full. They are going to look like a Christmas tree as soon as they start changing color like this. They are fabulous. I have a couple eggplant on the end that have given me a handful of eggplant each, but I think they're gonna produce more. Thai chili peppers. We have more habaneros. This will be another batch of them. I'm sure they will ripen before we have our season change. Here's one ripening already. We have Scotch bonnet in here somewhere. We have all sorts of stuff, wonderful stuff. We have so many wonderful peppers, and I actually need to start picking again because we have Sugar Rush Peach under here that are getting ripe, Scotch bonnet, and look at all of those blooms on the serranos. So we will have more serranos before the season's done. I love this. I added this last year. It is Purple Carpet Sweet Alyssum, and I love anytime I put purple in the garden. My trellis of butternut squash is going strong. We have quite a few squash on it, and we also have this cantaloupe, which is just about ready. I can actually smell it. I don't know if I'm gonna quite pick that yet. I might give it another day or so. You know, someone was talking to me. We don't actually tie our vines at all. I just encourage them to grow by kind of weaving them in between the trellis, and then they hold. Like, I don't really have them fall. I have had cantaloupe fall when they are absolutely 100% ready. They might fall, but I've never had a pumpkin or a winter squash fall, which is interesting. Over here, I have my other pepper bed. We have different eggplant all along. I don't know if I have any eggplant on there right now. Eggplant has been rather slow this year. Oh, there's some blossoms on it though. We have lots of different peppers. Lots of peppers growing, and I need to do another pepper harvest actually. There's quite a few in here. Oh my goodness, my echinacea has seen better days. Still some beautiful blooms. However, there's definitely some bug damage as well. Like right here, that is not so pretty. My zinnia fell out of this bed and are like crashed to the ground. And as I told you, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even clean this up for y'all. This is the reality of my zinnias. But they do have some zinnia to harvest seeds from, which I should. This is a really happy, huge one. More eggplant are all along the side here, and some of them look like they're just about to grow, like right there. But I'm most excited right now about these beautiful sun gold and yellow bell peppers that kind of all over. I need to pick some of them again. We had one good harvest of them, and I need to get some more out. We have leftover sunflowers. We have snapdragons. And then I always let the calendula volunteers grow in the pathway just because I like them. So you'll see them here and there and everywhere because I encourage it. I encourage that kind of volunteer in my life. Now I told you I was not going to pick things. I want to make a beautiful bouquet of these candy cane zinnia, but I'm going to refrain from picking anything. I have winter squash and pumpkins I've harvested over there. Funny story, guys. Here is my potato bed, and these potatoes are the ones we planted a long time ago. It's actually my second planting from some store-bought creamer small potatoes that I had forgot about. But I planted a third round of potatoes over here and thought they were just done for. They never came up. Look at this. I have some potatoes deciding to come up from that planting, and it's like 3 months later. Do you think I have something for you? You are so funny. So I don't know. I still was planning on planting a bunch of peas in this bed. I was going to do it just to nourish this bed. Peas will grow all winter long here, and now I'm not so sure what I'm going to do because we do have potatoes. If anybody knows, you can put in the comments if potatoes and peas can grow well together in the same bed, because I think I'm actually just going to try it as an experiment. I mean, I already have like 50 pea plants started of snap peas, sugar snap peas. So, but now I have these potatoes coming up that I planted a long time ago, and I do want to get a harvest from them, and I can also grow potatoes through the winter and just like deep mulch them, and they'll be fine. So I've got to decide what I'm going to do now. I've got all sorts of thoughts in my mind. I was planning, however, to use some of these really tall stalks of sunflowers like trellises for my peas. I had this whole plan. I've been cutting some of them out. This one I'll leave here since it's already here, but I was going to have them kind of like TP and grow up them, and I thought it'd be like quite beautiful and really cool looking. So we'll see if that happens. Over here on this side, I have all of my asparagus. I had these self-watering beds that I decided would be my asparagus area a long time ago, and they're actually, look, they have some new asparagus coming up and ferning now this late in the season, and then some of them have the little berries on them that will drop as seed. And then when I was talking about trellises, I was talking about like this. I've cut several of these out, and I'm going to actually put them as like trellises for my peas and stuff is my plan. The watermelon has little tiny melons, but I am just not going to grow it here again next year. It was just not, they're not supposed to actually be this small. So I'm going to make a totally different plan for this next year. I think we're going to do like peas, beans, maybe even some sort of winter squash, something that likes to vine that will do better than the melons. That was not the best plan. And then I've let a lot of these different sunflower, I took the tops off and let them grow little side shoots because it keeps all the pollinators and the bees in my garden and keeps them happy. Over here I have my purple beans vining like crazy. They are so beautiful. I don't really have beans from them yet, but they have so many blossoms. I am sure that I will get beans very soon. And they've gone all the way up to the top. So beautiful. I bet they'll come back down the other side. Look, there's some little beans. I am so excited. These are always such pretty beans when they grow because they get dark purple. I love purple in the garden. Leaving the beans behind and the chickens who think I have a treat for them. Over here, I have where I grew my pumpkin. You can see the pumpkin are pretty much done. There is a little bit of vine, but I don't see any fruit on it right now. There is a lot of parsley. Guys, I need to figure out how I'm going to use all my parsley. Like, it is beautiful and it's just growing there for looks right now. And then in here, I had planted for fall a ton of beans because beans grow better here in the fall. And you can see I need to pick more beans because we've got all kinds. This is a, like, I can't remember the name, but it's a golden wax bean. We have, I think, dragon's tongue over here. We have provider bush beans. And oh, those are pretty, look at that. I don't think they're supposed to be a vining bean, but they are, and they are just so lovely. Seriously, they're stalking me. I see them. I have the provider beans. You can see a few right there. There, I just have to pick so many beans. I am quite behind on my harvesting because we've had so much going on and it's been a little crazy. I think one of the best choices I made this fall was to grow beans in the fall and not even try in the summer, because I was always so disappointed that I got so many aphids in the summer, but in the fall, if my beans lived that long, they would produce. But now I didn't have to worry about aphids. I am aphid free, no pesticides, no sprays, no nothing. But I do have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beans. Let's see if I can get through this beautiful mess without damaging all of my flowers. There's even zinnia right down there. There are literally zinnia everywhere. So this is the other side of this beautiful, beautiful trellis of loofah. Right here is loofah. I used to have spaghetti squash and loofah in here, but we took out the spaghetti squash this month, gave the space dedicated to the loofah, and it is so happy that we did that. I mean, it is really, really like the drop in temps. Really like the extra space. It is so happy. Oh, look at that one. That's an awesomely funny shape. If I'm not careful, I will not be able to harvest it. So I'm gonna push that out so it doesn't grow too much in that place. And if you look carefully, you will see bees all over my garden, like everywhere. Like it helps to have our own beehives, but it also helps to have so much blooming all different times of year, not just in the spring. I could give you any recommendation as a new gardener. I would tell you to be sure and plant lots and lots and lots of flowers, because I hear all the time gardeners say that they don't have pollinators in their garden or they don't see any bees. And before we even had honeybees of our own, we did have so many flowers in our garden. I mean, you see the mess of flowers in my garden. It is like a little out of control, but I've never lacked for having honeybees, butterflies, carpenter bees, the little tiny, what are the little ones called? These little tiny, like a native bee. I mean, we have so many and they pollinate our stuff. I don't hand pollinate anything. I don't hand pollinate any butternut squash, any of that stuff. And I just plant to attract the pollinators so they come do their job. It makes my job easier and it makes my job prettier. I would much rather be in a garden that is full of flowers and full of pretty vines hanging everywhere than not. Even if I can't really walk through the paths, I still think it's a beautiful jumble of color and beauty, and I love it so much. It makes it more enjoyable to be in a garden than just, you know, a chore of getting our food, which is great. It's great to have it be a grocery store, but it's also great if it's a place that you love to be and you want to be and you want to spend time. I'm noticing that I have a giant cucumber that I totally missed. This is a bait alpha cucumber. Thankfully for me, they do not get bitter at all, even if you forget them. So I'm gonna harvest that one. We make a lot of hummus, homemade hummus, and we're always eating garden veggies with our hummus. So that one is going to be part of lunch tomorrow. All right, here's that cucumber. It's pretty good size, huh? But it's not gonna be bitter, and that's what I like about it. Okay, let's sit down, have a little chat, and then we will wrap this up. I try to do garden tours at least once a month. We do garden year round. I like to share that. I know not every zone or climate or area is able to garden year round. So it's kind of fun to see if someone is a year-round gardener, what do they actually grow at the different seasons? And I love to share all my bees and pollinators in the garden. It's one of my favorite things. I was gonna share just a little life update with you guys. We have so much going on. We have a chicken coop we're half built, and we're doing some different work on our property. It's too much to even describe all of it. You know, if you homestead and do little family farm stuff, you know there's a lot going on, especially in the fall. And my husband hurt his knee at soccer. We are a soccer family. He coaches soccer, he plays soccer. All of my boys play soccer, all 5 boys. And he might have torn his meniscus or his MCL. Neither are a good option. So if you are a praying person, I'd love for you to pray for him. We're very active family, so it's really important to have him healthy And I know he just absolutely loves soccer. Is one of the ways that he connects with my boys. So being able to play with my older sons in adult league is a highlight for him. So, and then all this work we have to do, it's tricky when he is down for the count. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And also, I am soon going to plant my fall starts. I feel like I'm trying to decide if the next garden tour will be after or before I get those planted, because we sort of transition slowly. We're not like rip the whole garden out and plant, because we will have tomatoes and peppers, eggplant, loofah, beans, all that stuff, even the strawberries and stuff. They'll be producing till frost, and frost for us is usually in November. So we still have a good decent amount of time left. And so I will have to decide. What I usually do is I plant in sections, I plant in areas. I decide, you know, this part of the garden looks pretty spent, and I'll start planting that thing there. And it'll be a kind of a slow transformation that we turn things over versus, you know, a blank slate and then a new season. We kind of do a slow evolution around here for our gardens. And yeah, we've got a lot to do in the fall. Besides the veggie garden, we are going to do a lot of care of our fruit trees and prep for them. And we have done some work on the bees. We've got another harvest of honey coming up, hopefully this fall. I think we should. So yeah, stay tuned. We will share as much as we can with you guys. We love to share with you guys. I want to share with you some more things that I actually make in our kitchen for a family. I know for me, when I check out YouTube videos, it's always helpful to see how people are using their harvest, what are they doing for their family's health, and how do they take care of their family, and what do they like to cook and eat. And so I'd like to share more of that stuff in the future as well. But yeah, I think this is it for now. It is wild and crazy and beautiful, and I didn't even hide the fallen umbrella from you that fell over from the wind, and I have not picked up yet. But this is real, guys. When you have always wanted to have a huge garden, you just do it, even if it is a beautiful mess. And I think I prefer it to be a beautiful mess. I'm not neat and tidy and rose person. Thank you so much. I will see you very, very soon. And I hope that you are encouraged to grow something beautiful, grow something lovely, and grow what you love. See you soon.